modern day, he's making them endure the fight of their lives. By episode 5, Spencer Dutton may not ever make it home at this rate. Alexandra can't go a single episode without suffering a traumatic attack, and Zane just had a hole drilled into his skull. Back home, Jacob Dutton is 82 years old. Unless Cara, Helen Mirren, can reload her shotgun at breakneck speeds, the Duttons need some friends, and fast. Though Paramount originally announced that 1923 Season 2 would return for 8 more episodes this February, there are actually only 2 more episodes left this season. Plus, the network is no longer referring to Season 2 as the second half of a 2-season arc. So either we're about to wrap everything up quickly in the finale, or there's a third season of 1923 heading our way. As we head into episode 5, it's hard to place my bet in either direction. For starters, I surely thought that Spencer and Alex would have made it to the ranch by now. Instead, we learn that Spencer is still trekking his way through Texas while Alex is only as far as Chicago. We also don't see anything of Donald Whitfield this episode. Sheridan created entirely new villains this episode, and they're here solely to terrorize the one character who is desperate for a break. Is that not a crime on your train, sir? Following 3 episodes in a row of Alex experiencing some form of physical or sexual assault, it's reasonable for audiences to ask what purpose these attacks serve. Remember Father Renault, the priest who tortures young Native American women at his school? How about his racist friend, Marshall Kentwell? The pair finally runs into a kind cowboy, who isn't convinced that the young Crow woman they're after is a murderer. No offense, mister, but and Spencer now finds himself lost in Texas. Believe it or not, his journey home is derailed once again. He's detained by Anadarko Marshal Mamie Fawcett, Jennifer Carpenter, who finds it suspicious that he's from the same area as Renault and Kent. Please, just leave this man alone. She takes Spencer to Amarillo, Texas, where he finally spots his first telephone since landing in America. Fawcett phones Sheriff McDowell, Robert Patrick, of Montana, who you may remember as Jacob's good friend. Still, McDowell seems more disturbed that he's talking to a female marshal than that Spencer Dutton is near to home. The patron saint of Tassos we met last episode, who is having a hard time believing that Tiana is a multiple murderer. Kent tells him that the young woman is a bloodthirsty, evolutionary bridge between animals and humanity, who must be erased from this planet. To do out here is die. You're 30 miles from water. If you ain't a fugitive, she tells him, this is the luckiest thing that's ever happened to you or you. In Amarillo, Marshal Fawcett takes Spencer to the sheriff's office and calls Sheriff, asks him to help her find something to eat. After all, it's been days since she's had a morsel, and she's got a taciturn little lion hunter in the oven. The dining car's manager isn't nice to her, exactly, but he offers her regular meals in exchange for her working as a waitress. So Alex dons a uniform, busses tables, and engages in servile labor for the first time in her life. She's pouring tea for a passenger when the train lurches, and she winds up spilling all over the table and him. Of course, he's gross about demanding that she mop up his trousers, as well. The upside? She does get fed, after a long day on her feet, and she's able to keep the tips she makes. Now you know what it's like, her cabin mate says, unsympathetically, and with that, Alex has just about reached her limit. With all due respect, you don't look like someone who should be giving advice, she says wearily. But the woman responds that she's doing everything for her kids, and that Alex will understand someday, mothers can endure anything. Then, in case we didn't get it, Elsa voiceovers that a mother's love is really, really powerful. The next morning at breakfast, Alex waits on a snobby British couple named Hilary and Paul, played by New Amsterdam's Janet Montgomery and the morning show's Augustus Prue, respectively, and winds up chatting with them. She's grateful when they generously tip. Her spirit is briefly buoyed, until she sees that the only other patron in the dining car is the slimeball who made her touch his clothed junk the day before. He notes that she's not wearing stockings, and when she draws closer to pour his coffee, he slides his hand up. She instantly freezes, and, without a single word, but then comes back to herself, pours the hot liquid all over the guy and then bashes his brains in with the coffee pot. When she realizes what she's done, she runs, but is rounded up by a conductor and thrown in the train's version of the brig. He raped me with his hand. Is that not a crime on your trains? She asks the unsympathetic conductor, who tells her her fate will be in the hands of the Chicago police. New line. When the train pulls into the Windy City, the British passengers who chatted with Alex and witnessed her violation interrupt Alex's arrest to say they saw what happened. He groped her privates, and she defended herself, Hilary says. The cop responds that the scumbag told him that Alex was his girlfriend. Well, officer, I think you should consider that a rapist might also be capable of lying, she says. The Brits are willing to make a statement, so the cop uncuffs Alex and she thanks her benefactors. Alex's attacker is arrested instead, and she is free to go. New line. New line. She immediately sees the Irish woman who was sharing her cabin, who's about to leave with Alex's valise and her tip money. She grabs them back and heads into the train station, where her connecting train to Fargo has been cancelled because of a snowdrift. It'll leave when the snow melts. And, as the unhelpful rail company employee tells her, that's not happening anytime soon. New line. New line. A despondent Alex crosses paths with the British couple again at the station. She informs them about the cancelled train, then she starts sobbing. The husband, Paul, invites her to come with them to Winnetka, Illinois. It seems a bit of respite from your adventures might be needed, he says, picking up her bag. He's gloating about how they're getting away with something. After weeks of tension and treacherous journeys, Episode 5 of 1923 Season 2 shines a light on hope, hardships, and gunfire amidst a looming threat. Titled Only Gunshots to Guide Us, the episode follows Spencer Dutton's and Alexandra's simultaneous quests to return home to Montana as Father Renault and Marshal Kent continue their pursuit of Tiana Rainwater. Amina Nieves runs his horse, and Pete Plenty clouds with the stakes higher than ever. Viewers are left to wonder what the future holds for these beloved characters. New line. New line. The episode resumes the tension with Renault and Kent on the trail of Tiana and her companions, starting with a tense encounter with rancher Anders. Kent's discussion on Darwinian evolution and his demand to eliminate the wolf Tiana heightens the urgency. She may look young and innocent, but she is evil and must be erased, Kent insists. After twisting Anders' arm, Renault convinces him to divulge what he knows about the whereabouts of the fugitives, leading the marshals to discover that Tiana's group sailed north. As the storyline unfolds, Spencer Dutton, meanwhile, is getting back in Montana. Across this turbulent realm of danger, Alexandra's journey proves both challenging and dangerous. With her train ticket not including food, she is forced to work as a waitress on the train to stave off hunger. This decision exposes her to the unwanted advances of customers. A male passenger's lewd behavior escalates when he gropes her, prompting a fierce response. She retaliates with a scalding pot of coffee that lands in his lap. Detained afterward, the incident causes a stir, but helps her when witnesses, Hillary, Janet Montgomery, and Paul, testify on her behalf, exonerating